The gospel for today is St. Matthew chapter 25. And Jesus is speaking once again to the disciples. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? And when did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you?" The king will reply, "Truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Then he will say to those on his left, "Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes, and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison, and you did not look after me." They will answer, "Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or needing clothes or sick in prison and did not help you?" He will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me." Then they will go away to eternal punishment, but the righteous to eternal life. The gospel of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
On the screen, we have a lightweight version, keeping it light here, of Jesus separating the sheep from the goats. And that separation thing works for us pretty well. If you get to thinking about it, we've been doing it all of our lives. Out there on the playground at school, you know who had cooties. And you knew which boy was a jerk. We separated, we knew who was in and who was out, and we didn't have a problem with it. Where we have a problem with this reading is Jesus is deciding who's in and who's out. Earlier this week, I was vegging in front of the TV and watching the Mark Twain Humor Prize. And the winner this year was David Letterman. And of course, they always have this kind of crazy roasting semi-thing. And then the recipient gets up and speaks. And when he got up to speak, he's talking about all of those who had helped him over his career. And I grabbed my keyboard when I heard him say, "There are 3 things that I know. M&Ms don't melt in your hand. If you pull a hair out of your nose, you'll sneeze. And if you help somebody, it will make you feel good." If you help somebody, it will make you feel good. Now, our first thought here is those sheep over there on his right who did all the right stuff. Did they do it to feel good? And if so, what about those goats who didn't do anything that they were supposed to do? Did it make them feel bad? Well, in point of fact, I don't think so, because they were both confused. They were both surprised. Neither group, whether it was when did we or when didn't we, they didn't get it. They don't deny their behavior. They know what they did or didn't do. But what confuses them is, where were you? How did we do this to you? How did we not do this for you? That's the part that confuses them. They're surprised that the Son of Man was present when they did or did not. I learned recently that sheep can recognize faces. Proven fact. Because they're using sheep for neurological studies. And they, first of all, had to determine if sheep could recognize certain faces consistently. And they can. And if you've ever been around sheep, you knew that all along.